Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome, everyone. It is great to see you on this beautiful, sunny San Francisco morning. Not something you can count on or take for granted. Let's take a deep breath together. And as we enter this service, we invite you to engage in the ancient practice of turning off your cell phone. You have 90 minutes to just not be shackled to that thing. Just be present in here. And we have an issue with masks, which is that it's hard to know if you're happy, especially for Lila. So, because your smile is not visible, this is your smile, okay? Let's practice. Okay, put your hands down. Now, if you're actually smiling at Lila, why don't you show her? Oh. See, better, right? Otherwise, it's just like blank faces. You're free to use that as much as you want during the service. Welcome. Larry, Laura, we're so grateful that you're part of our community. Mazel tov to you, to Emmy. We'll be in the Mishkan Tefillah prayer book. If you don't have one, they're on carts right at the back of the room. And everything is transliterated. So if you don't read Hebrew, you can follow along in the transliteration. We welcome your participation. Yai, dai, 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 dai works well too. And am I forgetting anything, Cantor Addy? All the housekeeping? Okay. We're going to start our service on page 172 with the words of Matovu, describes how beautiful it was for this prophet to look out onto the tents of Jacob.
So if you're not fully comfortable with the Hebrew, I'll give you one word to join us on. And the word is Yaakov. Everybody say Yaakov. And does anybody know who Yaakov was? Jacob. It's Hebrew for Jacob, but you can hear it. Jacob. Yaakov. So it goes like this. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Yaakov, Yaakov, Yaakov. Let's try that again. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Yaakov, Yaakov, Yaakov. Va'ani berov chastecha avo veitecha Yaakov, Yaakov. Ma tovu ochalecha, Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Va'ani berov chastecha, avo v'techa. Ma tovu ohalecha, Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Yaakov, 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 Yaakov.
Let's join together in this blessing in English on 173. It's a blessing for our bodies. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware we would lack the strength to sustain life before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh chol basar umafli la'asot. And we continue. Actually, can I share a funny story about this next blessing?
Oh, please.
It's Elohai Neshama, which is a blessing for our souls. We offer gratitude for like a fresh start every day. Isn't that nice? Get a fresh start every day. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. But we've been teaching my 21-month-old daughter to cover her eyes for the Shabbat candles. And then in the morning, I sang her this song, and she went like this.
Oh.
It was so cute. She was like, we cover
She
our eyes
understood the
during
sacred,
blessing.
sacred moment.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
You can keep your eyes open for this, though.
Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi. Ata berata, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi, ve'ata meshamra, meshamra bekirbi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi.
We have a blessing for the study of Torah, and we will hear some amazing teaching of Torah later. Lila will lead us in that blessing. It's the last blessing on page 178.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiyishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok v'divrei Torah.
Amen.
Blessed are you, God, who commands us to la'asok b'divrei Torah, to really get ourselves all mixed up with words of Torah. You can have a seat again for a few moments. We'll continue with the Psalm for Shabbat on page 184.
So all of our morning psalms and prayers are about awakening a feeling of gratitude for all the different things that we have, including the gift of song. This particular psalm says that it is good to give thanks while singing. And I'd love you to try it with us. It's the second line, not the top line. And you'll see in the transliterated side, it says, I'll teach it to you a little bit. It says, Tov lechodot ladonai. Let's try that. Tov lechodot ladonai. Then the third line, this is all you need to know. Uzamar לך אגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, מעשה ידיך רנן. מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון.
And one more song of, well, this isn't really gratitude as much as awe. It's Psalm 150 on page 188. It's another kind of spiritual posture, is awe. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel taught that awe is really at the center of what it is to be a spiritual person, to be in awe of the world around us. And the word that you all probably know is hallelujah, right? You're quiet.
Like
this
hallelujah.
morning.
Hallelujah is a shortened version of hallelujah.
Do we need to wake up a little bit? Okay, put your books down for a second. Let's stretch our bodies. There's people in here. Let's act like it. Okay, good. We're a Jewish place. Even if you're not Jewish, we're like a loud and noisy bunch, so you get to sort of assimilate into that for the moment. Okay, that's better. So hallelujah, if you know that word, it just means like, wow, essentially.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, el bekocho. Hallelujah, birkia uso. Hallelujah, bikurotav. Hallelujah, kerov gulo. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, beteka shofar. Hallelujah, benever vechinor. Hallelujah, betov umachor. Hallelujah, beminim vehugar. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, b'tziltzalei shama. Hallelujah, b'tziltzalei truah. Kol hanshama tihalel Yah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
continue on page 195 and rise for Baruch Hu. Page 196. Actually, I changed my mind. I don't want to read that. The blessing is for light, but let's just take a moment to notice light. Maybe it's the sunshine out the window. Take a moment to think of the most beautiful light you've ever seen. Maybe a sunrise. Maybe it's a light in another person. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hama'orot. Blessed are you, creator of light. Page 198.
Ahava ra'apachaftanu, Adonai Eloheinu, chemla gedola v'tera, chamalta aleinu, ba'avur avoteinu, ve'imotenu, shebatchu v'cha, Avinu makenu, ותלמדם חוקי חיים, כן תחתר ללמדנו, המרחם, רחם עלינו, ותן בליבנו להבין ולהשכיל לשמוע, לשמור ולעשות, ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה. והאר עינינו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבינו באהבה ויראה את שמך. הגדול והנורא פתחנו, נקילה ונשמחה בישועתך, והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו קוממיות לארצנו, כי אל פועל שועות אתה, ובנו בחרת, וקרבתנו לשמך הקדוש אלה באמת, להודות לך ויחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל
Page 200.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated, and we'll continue on the next page with V'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayud hadvarim ha'ele asher anuchi mitzvavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'divarta bam v'shiftecha v'vitecha uvavtecha v'derech u'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshatam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
And we continue with the words of Micha Mocha on page 204. It's the song our ancestors sang as they crossed the sea from Egypt to the future, reminding us that we can get through hard times, and better times will come.
And this is a repeat after me melody. So I'm going to sing a couple words to you. You'll sing back to me. The words are right there also. You can see them in the book. Or you could just do la 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 back to me if you don't want to struggle with the Hebrew. Mi chamocha. Let's try it again. Mi chamocha. Bailim Adonai. Nice. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh nora tehilo ose one more time. Mi chamocha. Mi chamocha. Bailim Adonai. Mi kamocha. Nedar bakodesh. Nora. Tehilot. Oh, say, Vele, I was lost in the feeling so happy to hear you sing. Tzur Yisrael, kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, uftei chinumecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzevaot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Yisrael.
We now move into the Amidah. Lila will lead us in the first few blessings, the first couple of blessings, and then we'll take some quiet time on our own. You're free to remain standing for your own private prayer, either from the pages in the book or just from your heart. And when you're done with your own quiet prayer, please be seated at your own pace.
Adonai sefartai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Hagadol, Hagibor, Vahanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Fekonei Hakol, Vezoher Hasdei Avot Vimaot, Umevi Gula Livnei Vnehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer Moshiach Moken, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atagi Boy Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Kol Atah Rav Loshia, Molid Hatah, Mechakel Hayim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memid, Umechaye, Umatzmi Yeshua. V'nenerman atah lechayotako, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מה אדיר שמך בכל הארץ. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, נוח אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, דור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. I want to teach you the chorus of this beautiful song. It's in Hebrew, but I'm going to translate it into English. The chorus, it's just a few words, and it's so beautiful. The song, it's from Psalm 13, and it says, "I trust that there is love in the world, and that love is what heals me and saves me." It's just a beautiful piece of text. And the chorus says, in Hebrew it says, I sing out to God. And I sing out to God, and it comes back to me. So there's something about, it describes some kind of reciprocal transfer of energy. I don't know how to put that, but that's what it does say in Hebrew. And so I'm going to teach you. And in Hebrew, the word for God is a oblique, transcendent word. We'll say English, but it really can stand for anything I sing out to. Actually, let's say I sing out to you. I like that one. So it goes like, so I'll get there in a second. Actually, let's teach the chorus. It goes like this. I sing out to you. I sing out to you. I sing out to you. And it comes back to me. I sing out to you. I sing out to you, I sing out to you, and it comes back to me. I sing out to you, I sing out to you, I sing out to you, and it comes back to me. I sing out to you, I sing out to you, I sing out to you, and it comes back to me. ואני בחסדך בטחתי, יגל ליבי בישועתך. ואני בחסדך בטחתי, יגל ליבי בישועתך. I sing out to you, I sing out to you, I sing out to you, and it comes back to me. I sing out to you, I sing out to you, I sing out to you, and it comes back to me. ואני בחסדך בטחתי, יקל ליבי בישועתך. ואני בחסדך בטחתי, יגל ליבי בישועתך. I sing out to God, I sing out to God, I sing out to God, and it comes back to me. I sing out to God, I sing out to God, I sing out to God, and it comes back to me.
I like how you played with the words for God there. That was nice. We are going to move to our Torah service, the heart of our service this morning, and what Lila's been working so hard on. Who's smiling at her right now? There you go. The liturgy for the Torah service can be found on page 244, and the text of the Torah reading can be found in the other books in your pew that are either under you in the front row or in the things in front of you. What is your portion again? Remind me where it is. It's okay. We'll look it up in a second. Don't worry. Yeah. I'll tell you where it is in a moment if you want to follow along. But in the meantime, we are inviting several people up for the honor of passing the Torah down Lador Vador, generation to generation, symbolizing that the Torah is something our people have cherished and passed down, and we are so honored to today pass it to you. So for that honor, we invite up all 4 grandparents and parents and Sister Emmy up to the bima. And also for the honor of opening the ark, we have a bunch of cousins, Harper, Rex, CJ, Andrew, and Max. Everyone, please rise.
Ein kamocha v'Elokim Adonai, ve'ein kemaasecha malchutecha malchut, kol ulamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor vador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, ki mitzion teitzei Torah, udevar Adonai miyerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah Torah, le'amo Yisrael bikedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadlul Adonai iti, unerom ema shemo yachdav. Ame, Ame Yisrael chai, Ame, Ame, Ame Yisrael chai, Ame, Ame, Ame Yisrael chai, Ame, Ame, Ame Yisrael chai. Ad Avinu chai, Ad Imenu chai, Ad
For those that would like to follow along in the Torah booklet, in the Torah book, we are in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. And it actually begins with what?
Shema.
The Shema, which we said twice already in this service. And, you know, the Shema is interesting. We close our eyes. It's the only blessing we're supposed to memorize in our tradition. And, you know, in classic Reformed Judaism, they would call it the watchword of our faith. It was this sort of serious thing. But what I love about it is that it begins with the word listen. Shema. Shema means listen. And that there's a sense in our tradition that listening is itself a sacred act and an act of faith. Listen. And don't we need a little bit more listening in our world today? Right? Shema. So we're just finding where it starts here. This Torah has a mind of its own sometimes and rolls itself away. And we're going to invite up, for the honor of the first Aliyah, several aunts and cousins. Susan, Bob, Seth, Jen, Erica, Todd, Sarah, and Amanda. Ya'amdu Slamith Viva Bat Mayer V'Chaya V'Ruvain Avraham Ben Anna, you can start coming up. V'Shimon Ben Nachman V'Rivka V'Liora Bat Teresa V'Alvin V'Ita V'Tzvi Jernigan, Sarah, Amanda, the Aliyah Harishon. You'll go to the other side, all the way to the other side. Welcome, everyone. Sorry for any names I mispronounced in that. All the way over there. And who is actually going to say the blessing for us? Come forward. Anyone who's saying the blessing, come forward. Perfect.
All right. Ready?
Baruch Adonai Mevarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha. Ve'hayud hadvarim ha'ele, asher anuchi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha.
Okay.
Okay. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'chatenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Thank you all for surrounding this bat mitzvah girl with love as she is brought to Torah this morning. She comes here with all of you behind her, and it's a beautiful thing. You are such a wonderful family and have helped her get to this day. Yasher Koach will send you back to your seats. And for the honor of the second Aliyah, we invite up grandparents, Barbara, Len, Marcia, and John. Ya'amdu Bracha Chana Bat Mayer V'Chaya V'Sfilen Leb Ben Nachman V'Rivka L'Aliyah HaTorah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Mavarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bacha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלבבתך בדרך, ושוקבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yasher Koach, thanks to all four of you for really making this moment of generation to generation possible, that she would not be here at this Torah without all four of you and the love that you have given her through your children and now your granddaughter. Mazel Tov. We continue with the third Aliyah. We invite up Larry and Laura, your mom and dad. Is Emmy coming too? All right. You just didn't put her here. Ya'amtu Levi Yitzchak V'chaya Aliyah Hashlishi.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
והיה כי יביאך אדוני אלוהיך אל הארץ אשר תך לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בניתם ובתים מלאים כל טוב אשר לא מילאתם ובורות חצובים אשר לא חצבת כרמים וזיתים אשר לא נתת ואכלת ושבעת.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yasher Koach, you are Lila's home. You are her safe place. You are her closest people who love her and helped her come to Torah today. We'll have you stay up here as she chants her Aliyah. Lila, are you ready for your turn to be called to Torah?
Yes.
Ritually, this is the moment when you become bat mitzvah, and it's truly an honor to call you to Torah. Ta'amod, 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 Chana bat Levi v'Laura, la'aliyah habat mitzvah, chazak, chazak v'nitchazeh.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Hishamer lecha pen tishkach et Adonai asher hotziacha mi eretz Mitzrayim mi beit avadim et Adonai Elohecha tiraha ve'oto ta'avod uvishmaho tishavea lo telchun acharei Elohim acherim me Elohei ha'amim asher sevivotechem ki elkana Adonai Elohecha bekirbecha pen yerev af Adonai Elohecha bach vehishmidcha me'al penei ha'adama. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
Yasher Koach, beautifully, beautifully chanted. Well, we still have the Torah. You guys can go sit down. We want to offer a blessing for healing. If you are thinking of someone who is sick, either in body or in soul or spirit, we want to include them in our prayers this morning. I will chant the Hebrew as soon as I find it, and in the middle, I will pause, and I invite you to share names when I do so. Misha berach avotenu v'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarivka, Rachel, v'Leah, v'yavarech et hacholim. Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yimale Rachamim Alehem Lachalimam L'Rapotam Lachazikam Vishlach Lehem Hera Refua Rufa Shlema Min Hashemayim Rufata Nefesh Rufata Guf Hashtabagalav Uvizman Kariv, and together we all say
Amen.
All right. For the honor of lifting the Torah, it's not on here. Who is it again? Pete Blum and Hillary. Is Hillary wrapping the Torah? Great. Come on up, both of you. Oh, here it is. It's at the top of the page. I just missed it. Please rise.
Vezot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. Yisrael beoraita chadhu. Yisrael beoraita chadhu. Torah ora, hallelujah. Torah ora, hallelujah. Hallelujah, Torah ora.
My Haftorah portion comes from the book of Isaiah. The English translation of this passage starts with, "Comfort my people, comfort them." This portion is the first Haftorah of the Sheva Dene Hamata, or the 7 Haftorah of consolation. These Haftorah are read between Tisha B'Av, the day of fasting that pays tribute to the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, and Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. These Haftorah center around themes of comforting those people crying out for divine help in difficult times. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim v'ratza v'divrehem hane'emarim bemet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'Torah Uv'Moshe avdo, Uv'Yisrael amo, Uv'Nviei ha'emet v'atzedek. Nachamu, nachamu, ami, yomar, Elohechem, davru, Alev Yerushalayim, v'kiru aleha, ki mal'a tzeve'a, ki nertza avona, ki lakcha miyad Adonai, kiflayim bechol chatotecha, kol korei Bamidbar, Panu derech Adonai, Yashru ba'arava, Mesilah, Le'Eloheinu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol ha'alamim tzadik b'chol ha'davrot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'osei ha'medeber m'kayim shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lehavot ulavtifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach mevarchim otach yitbarach shimcha b'vichol hai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. When I first saw my Torah portion, I started leaping up and down with joy because, frankly, I had already memorized a third of it. As most of you may have heard, my Torah portion includes sections from both the Shema and the Ve'ahavta. The Shema is the most important prayer in Judaism. It is recited in every service and should be said twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. It is one of the first things and should be the first prayer we teach our children if we are to have any. Additionally, these are the words that bless our homes as we place the mezuzah outside of our doors. The part of the Shema that my Torah portion focuses on is, "Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one." This prayer is the most important prayer in Judaism because it highlights one of the central aspects of Judaism, monotheism. Monotheism is the belief in a single God. In Deuteronomy 6:13 through 14, we say, "Revere only the eternal, your God, and swear only by God's name. Do not follow other gods, any gods of the people about you." The other part of my portion, the Ve'ahavta, is a prayer relating to the Shema, giving us instructions on what to do with these sacred words. It says, "Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates." Altogether, my Torah portion tells us to believe in God and only God, because He has given us everything that has gotten us to this point in our lives. There are many different interpretations as to what my Torah portion, more specifically the Shema, means, but three interpretations I would like to focus on are those of Rabbi Shlomo Tzchaki, or Rashi, Rabbi Moses ben Maimon, or Maimonides, and Rabbi Joseph H. Hertz. To start off, Rashi was a French rabbi born in 1040 and is one of the most influential Jewish commentators to this day. He had many thoughts as to what the Shema meant, but one I would like to focus on is his idea of the Shema saying that we should face each day with the hope that we may one day see God's kingdom where there is peace and where poverty and war are banished. He also says, "Teach us more and more to share the pain of others, to heed your call for justice, to pursue the blessing of peace." I agree with this interpretation because if we are to learn more about others who have experienced more hardship than us, we can find a better solution to the hardships they are facing. The next interpretation I would like to focus on is the interpretation of Maimonides. Maimonides was a medieval philosopher who started his works whose works continue to be read today. His interpretation of the Shema was that God's unity is eternal and unique, that God creates all that is and continues to create all that will be. This resonates with me because I think that if we can continue to love everyone and we can create a more loving world if we acknowledge that everyone comes from God. God is widely loved, yet only a few of his creations are treated with that same love. If we accept the fact that God created everything that is and will continue to create everything that will be, we can learn to love everything as if they are God. The final interpretation I would like to focus on is from Rabbi Joseph H. Hertz. Rabbi Hertz was a rabbi and commentator during the late 1800s and early 1900s in the United Kingdoms. He believed that there were no words in the entire realm of literature more important than the Shema. While this may be true for most Jews, people of other religions or people of no religions would most likely disagree with this statement. That being said, the main sentiments of both the Shema and the Ve'ahavta have an idea of universality. Many different monotheistic religions, if you were to listen to them, you would probably find prayers or sayings similar to the Shema and the Ve'ahavta. It recently came to my attention that late Ellie Garcia, who was a victim of the Uvalde school shootings, spent the entire week prior to her passing practicing reciting a verse for her next Wednesday night church service. She was going to read verse Deuteronomy 6:5. "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength." As I stand here today, reciting and talking about this verse that young Ellie never got the opportunity to say, I would like to honor her and honor the universal message she was going to share of love, loving God, and everything God created. This leads me to my thoughts on my Torah portion. I believe that the Shema and the Ve'ahavta are trying to teach us the idea of loving God in all of God's creations. If everything is made in God's image and there is a bit of God in everyone, then why do individuals only treat a few of God's creations with love? There are many injustices in the world, and the root cause of all of them is a lack of love. If we are to love everyone and everything equally because we are all creations of God, we would have a much stable and much more happier world. There are raging wars going on in some countries. People are being discriminated against for the people they love and the color of their skin. Our world is starting to crumble because of the constant pollution that is happening each and every day. And so many families have lost their loved ones at the hands of firearms. If we lead with love and see God in every living thing, I know we could do better. When faced with all the challenges in our world, it is so easy to respond with frustration, anger, and helplessness. Trust me, I know. But what I ask is that we use the Shema and the Vehafta to guide us and face these injustices with love. If you see God in the homeless person waiting near your neighborhood, wouldn't you want to help them find shelter? If you see God in the wildlife around you, wouldn't you pick up that plastic bag you see getting caught in the currents of the wind? If you see God in elementary school children, like Ellie, wouldn't you want to help fight for reasonable gun control? When you see that God is in all of us, wouldn't you also want to love yourself more? We can never learn to love others if we don't learn to love ourselves. I believe that most of us, or all of us, have struggled with self-confidence before. At the start of this year, I also struggled with self-confidence. I began to become self-conscious about everything. For example, how my hair looked, or how my glasses would always tilt to one side. My mom started to catch on to this, and one day she sat down with me and confronted me about it. I told her about the things that made me insecure, and her response I will never forget. When I told her about my hair, she said, "You have some of the best and most silky hair I have ever seen." And when I told her about my glasses, she said, "You look beautiful in your glasses." And that's just how some glasses fit. I used to see these things as negative, but I learned that these things make me me. From that point forward, whenever I get self-conscious or insecure, I remind myself that I'm beautiful just the way I am. And no matter what anyone else says, I will always be that same beautiful. The main sentiment of the Shema and the Vehafta is to find love in everything around us, including ourselves, and to lead with love. To finish this off, I'd like to tell a story. When I was in 2nd grade and my sister was in 4th grade, her class was doing a lesson on Martin Luther King Jr. She was tasked to create an artistic representation of what they had learned. My sister had the brilliant idea to create a poster of one of his most famous quotes. "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." She made an extra poster and decided to give it to me. And later that night, I loved it when I saw it, and I hung it in my room. And still to this day, you'll find it hanging there. As I'm reflecting on this, I feel like that quote perfectly encapsulates what I'm trying to say. Hate can never drive out hate. Only love can do that.
What do you think? President? Rabbi? Where's she headed? Yeah, Supreme Court Justice. You preached. That was good. Thank you. Yasher koach. We are going to return. No, we're not. We're going to have, sorry, I'm all mixed up today. Parent blessings.
Lila, we are so proud of you for so many reasons. You are filled with life, laughter, intelligence, and kindness. But one of the traits that is so very you is your strong sense of justice. It's anchored in the depth of your empathy and compassion. You are driven with a need to make the world a kinder, fairer, more loving, and inclusive place for all. My hope for you is that you retain your amazing empathy and follow it along paths that bend towards justice. May you grow surrounded in love and the warmth of deep friendships. May your confidence grow to bolster the leader you are becoming. May the happiness you bring all of us return to you in abundance. And may you never lose your wonder at the beauty of the world and of the people in it. Know that we love you always.
Lila, you have always had such an amazing heart. In everything you do, you lead with empathy, and you have this rare ability to put yourself in other people's shoes. You truly exude compassion, and as you've heard me say before, the definition of compassion is empathy into action. You have so eloquently taught us today about leading with compassion. Your Torah portion is a great reflection for who you are and the woman that you are becoming. We could not be more proud of you. On your bat mitzvah, we hope that you never lose your compassion for others, your idealism, and your drive for social justice. We hope that you continue to learn with a growth mindset where you are humble in your successes and resilient and persistent in your failures. May you always cherish your family and your friends and find happiness in all that you do. Lila, I have learned so much from you because you are actually different from me. I am a people pleaser, a conflict avoider. You have always known who you are. You speak your mind, you stand up for yourself, for others, and for what is right and just. But you do it with this incredible grace, which makes you a natural leader. The world needs more people like you. We are truly blessed to see you growing into adulthood each and every day, and we can't wait to see the woman that you are going to become. We love you.
I'd like to finish this off with thank yous. So, first of all, thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to be here with me this morning. I'd like to thank my family who flew in from all different parts of the country just so they could be a part of this special weekend. Thank you to my amazing friends who are celebrating with us. I know that most of you probably didn't know what was going on for half of the service, so it means a lot that you came anyways. I'd like to thank both sets of my grandparents for flying in from across the country just so they could participate with us today. I'd like to thank the Frosty No Chippies, who have known me since I was a kid and have been my best friends ever since. I want to thank the Blums, who are like my second family and have somehow still put up with us. I'd like to thank Cantor Addy and Rabbi Rodich for not only being such great teachers for me, but for a lot of the synagogue. Thank you, Emmy. I know we both admit that sometimes we feel like we need to strangle each other, but you've been there for me no matter what, and I know you always will be. Whether I needed a hug or some advice for things I wasn't even sure I wanted, you will always be there for me. Thank you to my mom and my dad, who support me no matter what, even when I can be a jerk, and who have spent most of their summer trying to plan this bat mitzvah. I love you both so much, and my life would be a complete wreck without you. Finally, this service is dedicated to Alla Chechelinskaya, who perished during the Shoah in 1942 at the age of 3. May her memory be a blessing.
We are going to return the Torah to the ark. Please rise.
Et chaim hi lamachzikim ba v'tomchecha meushar derachecha darkei noam v'chol netivotecha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh yameinu Chadesh yameinu kekedem.
Now it's my turn to offer you a blessing. It has been truly an honor to learn with you, to learn from you. You are everything your parents just described and more. Your dad used the word leader, and I see that also so deeply in you. And when I think about this Torah we are transmitting to you today, I think that in the essence of this Torah is a call for all of us to lead. I'm sorry we passed this Torah to you at a moment in our world that isn't as we wish it were, that that generations before you haven't been able to figure out how to live up to the vision of this sacred text. But I have so much faith in your ability to take it on and to join us. In the Torah, it asks us to be a blessing, each of us. You are a blessing. You are such a blessing, and it is an honor to be one of your rabbis. We now offer you these ancient words. May God bless you, and may God always protect you. May God's face shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. In your life, may you always be surrounded by shalom, which in one sense means peace, but in a deeper sense, it means wholeness. We ask for you to always have wholeness in your heart, in your family, your friendships, your community, in our world. Together we all say, Amen. We remain standing for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon, HaKol, page 282. Latet gedula le'yotzer Bereshit, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please be seated. Before we conclude our service, we always take a moment to remember people who have died recently or for whom it is the anniversary of their death, their yortzeit. The words for Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 294. But before we offer those words, we'd like to hear the names of anyone you're remembering so that we can be in memory with you. If you're in a place of remembering on this Shabbat, please rise. Since we have no mourners, let's all rise together, and we'll say Kaddish for those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shamei rabbah, bi'alma divra chirotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam ulmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemei, Kudasha, Barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom
conclude with the Shabbat morning Kiddush. Come on forward. If you'd like to follow along, it's on page 300.
ושמרו בני ישראל
את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ושמרו
בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי האדמה. לחיים.
We're going to say motzi and then head out to some lovely food that the family has sponsored. Thank you. And please remember to take your prayer books with you and bring them to the carts right outside the door to give our custodians a hand. The books that say Torah on them, those stay in the pews, but the Mishkan Tefillah book goes out with you and anything else you've brought with you. Let's join together in motzi.
Baruch Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat shalom.
Do you want to grab one?
You get to do it.
Your nails don't let you.
They're not like. Okay, there you go.